One of my biggest pet peeves is people that go to therapy just so that they can use that as an excuse to control other people. So let's talk about it. What up, guys? My name is Katie May, and I'm your guide to building a brand based on authentic connection. One of the biggest parts about authentic connection is understanding who you are fundamentally and making the necessary changes to become the person that you want to be. Being authentic doesn't mean that everyone around you should put up with your bullshit. So, I also was a victim of this. Maybe not a victim. I was an abuser of this trend as well. So, I know firsthand what this looks like and the hardships it can put and the strains it can put on relationships, as well as the hardships and strains it puts on your own mental well-being. So, I want to chat about it. So, what it means to go to therapy, to use that as an act to control somebody else. There's a few different ways this can look depending upon whose life it is, right? So if you're going to therapy, you're learning all of these skills and all of these tactics to learn to manage your emotions a little bit better in the world of people, especially in the world of people who are so caught up in their own day-to-day lives that they cannot help you in the ways that you want to be helped, right? Especially if you do not have the proper tools to be able to communicate how you need help. Therapy is really great for teaching you those tools, okay? When I got out of high school, and I was paying for my own therapist, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm learning so many great tools and resources. If everybody else, I didn't think about this like cognitively, it was more like unconsciously, right? So I was thinking like, oh my gosh, like these are some like great tools, these are great resources. If everybody else would just do these things, I wouldn't have to use them myself, right? Because I'm thinking, I want to live a life with the most ease, right? And so I don't have to put in the hard work of controlling my behavior if everybody else around me will just appease me, is basically the unconscious ideas that I had revolving when I was in therapy myself. So how this can look in real time is when people are doing something that I think is emotionally abusive, I'm going to stop them and I'm going to be like, you need to walk away. You need to take some deep breaths. And it's very much you, instead of me realizing that that information from my therapist was for me. That information was not for the people that I am involved with, right? We'll just leave it there for now. So it's really hard whenever you're learning all this information to not want to go around and like teach everybody about it. Is it great information? Absolutely. But the ways that they need to handle themselves is going to be completely different and separate from the ways that you need to handle yourself, okay? Some people are coming from a background of being very loud and very abusive, and they need to be quiet, and so they might not be as communicative in situations where you think that they should be, because that is their healing journey. And on the flip side, maybe they're coming from a background, there's snot on it. Maybe they're coming from a background where they're very timid and very shy and didn't stand up for themselves. And so now they're very loud and they're trying to figure out how to set boundaries without being too angry. But because of just everything that they have been through, they are now in a position where they're figuring it out, right? So whenever you grow up on one of the sides, whether it's super quiet or super loud, one of those extremes, to find the balance, you usually have to go and about hit the other side. Think about a bowling ball, right? When you pull it on it, like it's a bowling ball on a string. I think we've all seen those videos, right? So like the bowling ball, you pull it this way. This is my bowling ball. This is the bowling ball. It's on a string. I pull it this way. I let it go. It hits the other extreme and comes back. It doesn't come as far, right? And then it finally comes back and forth and finds its equilibrium in the middle, okay? That's what the healing journey looks like for almost everybody, okay? When you are on one extreme or the other, you don't have to. I won't say that. More than likely, though, you will hit the other side of the extreme to find that equilibrium in the middle of it. So it's very important that you understand that your healing journey is completely separate from everyone else's. And that is very hard. That was very hard for me to grasp and understand, because I had never seen somebody go through a healing journey of their own. But the more amazing and awesome friends that I continue to develop and grow, and the more friends that I hear their own struggles and the hardships that they had to endure just to like figure out where their balance is beautiful and it's amazing. And maybe their balance is more on the side of being loud now, you know, and that's beautiful. And maybe it's the opposite, where maybe their balance now is more the quiet side, but that is their personal equilibrium. It looks different for everybody because we all have different purposes in this world. And we also have to be very mindful that your purpose is going to give you a different equilibrium than other people. And that can be hard to appreciate and to understand. So I just very much urge you that if you are in therapy, that you understand that that is your healing journey. That is not somebody else's. They are on their own healing journey. And if you think that they need to go on a healing journey, that is not up for you to push. That is not up for you to decide. And that is not up to you to point fingers. You have to choose whether or not it's a person you want in this phase in your life and in their phase in your life, right? You have the choice to choose if they are a part of your life or not. Make the choice to keep yourself in their life, keep yourself out of your life. I don't care. You will not point fingers and tell them what to do. That is controlling behavior. That is going to prolong your healing journey. It's going to lessen the chances of you finding your own equilibrium. And let me tell you, it's going to give you high blood pressure. It's going to give you increased stress levels. You're going to have headaches and fatigue all the time because you're so worried about everybody else that you don't have enough time to do anything for yourself. And if this sounds like you, I get it. I 100% get it. I still catch myself sometimes being like, you can't do this, you know? It's hard. It's the healing journey. I'm still finding my equilibrium in a lot of places. And the more that I'm able to understand and recognize these patterns and behaviors and also see the effects that they have, the more that I'm actually able to understand just how powerful we truly are as humans when we use our own advice. That's the hard part. So I very much encourage you, if you're in therapy, or even if you know someone who's in therapy and they're using these controlling behavior tactics, be mindful that they are on their own healing journey. Be mindful that you are on your own healing journey. Be mindful that it is not going to look the same for anybody. It might have some similarities, but it is not going to look the same. Everybody has their own journey, so everyone has a different equilibrium. And the more that we can understand and appreciate other people's equilibrium, the more that we can understand and appreciate our own at the same time. And the more that we can understand and appreciate our own equilibrium, the more we can understand and appreciate other people's equilibrium. It is not your job to change anybody. It is not your job to heal anybody. Let them heal themselves and know how to do it through your example. I can't tell you how powerful that is. And I know my friends that are going on their healing journey, their courage and their bravery and their kindness is what encourages me to still be mindful and kind and courteous and courageous in my day-to-day practices as well. So don't use therapy as an excuse to control other people. If you're looking for a little bit more information about how to live your life more authentically, definitely click the link in my bio. I offer free one-on-one Zoom calls so that we can figure out 2 action steps that you can take today to start to build the life of your dreams. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.